guys, welcome back to a new video. So I am so excited for today's video because I finally got my hands on some of the Sculpting product. So the products that I picked up is the Sculpting and Contour Palette. I also picked up an eyeshadow palette. This is the Snatural Palette. I can't wait to play with these because I expect a lot from them. So hopefully they will be great. And then last but not least, I also picked up the Bling. So this will be kind of a first impression review. I will let you know how the products work. I will let you know if you should purchase or pass any of these products. So hopefully you will enjoy it. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you do. And as always, everything will be listed down below. There you can see everything I have on my face. There's also a lot of other information. So be sure to check out the down bar. And without further ado, if you want to see how these products work and also how to create the look that I'm wearing, then please keep watching. So I did my base, added foundation, concealer, did my brows, and that is how far we've come. So I thought we could start with this palette, and this is the Snatural Palette from Sculpting. And it opens like this, and it looks so good. Like, I am loving the packaging. I love white and gold, as you know. So this palette retails for $84, so it is a little bit expensive. This palette comes with 20 different shades. You get a huge variety of shades in here as well. So it says on the website that this palette has a combination of natural colors with snatched elevated colors with a highly developed color range, carefully designed for the best user experience for all skin types. This palette also has a lot of warm tones, as we saw, and with extremely minimal fallout and kickback on the brush. The formulas are some of the best available, developed for a luxurious vibrancy rarely experienced. I really am excited to see how this palette works, but as you can see, you get a lot of pigment right here. Whoa. That is pigmented and they feel so creamy, and as you can see, I still have pigment left on my hands. So we have Foxy right here. Then we have Saucy and Starlet, and these shadows look so beautiful, so pigmented. They also feel very creamy. So what I'm gonna do is to prep my eyes, I will use the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, and I will just use a Real Technique shading brush, and we will go over the eyelids and just cancel out all the redness and everything we don't want to have on our lids before applying this eyeshadow. And this is such a great concealer to use on your eyelids because it covers everything. It is very pigmented, and it also has a little bit of a sticky consistency, which makes the shadow stay on longer. So now I will go into this shade right here, which is called Vintage, which is like a light brown nudish color. I will apply that into my crease to start to build up some definition, and he is so right about this palette. Like, I am going in there, there's almost no fallouts in the pan, and it goes on the brush so smooth. Just go ahead, and I will also take it a little bit out. So now I will go in with this brown orangey tone, which is called Rescue. So I will start to build up the intensity in the crease and also blend it a little bit upwards and also onto my outer corners of the eye. I must just say, these colors are so pigmented, they glide on. I barely tapped into the pan. As you can see, there's still no fallouts. So for this, I'm using a Morphe M441 brush, which is a tapered blending brush. I will have some struggle to pronounce some of these names, but I will take this burgundy shade right here on a Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH40 brush, and we are gonna place this into our outer corners. I'm also gonna go into my crease with this shadow and blend it inwards, but I'm not going all the way to my inner corners. So still there's barely no fallout. So you can definitely see that the brush has gone into the shadow. It just looks like a creamy buttery consistency. Then I will take my Morphe M441 brush again, and I will just go over the crease area. So we will go back and forth and blend everything together. So it is so hard to decide which colors to play with next, just because I want to play with every single color, and I think all of these are so beautiful. I will go for a little bit of a deeper shade, which is called Brick House. And this we're gonna place just on the outer part of the eyelid and blend it a little bit into the crease to build up a little bit of a definition on the outer part. Just like that. As you can see, this looks more smoky. Another great tip I have for you is to keep your eyes open when you blend shadows. Don't like close them all the way, because when you open them, you will not see exactly where the shadows goes. So I like to blend while keeping my eyes open, and that is also great if you have a little bit of a hooded eye, because you see where the color go on. So before I became a makeup artist, I just added on shadow with a closed eye, and when I opened them you could barely like see the crease color, just because I have a little bit of a hooded eye, so it kind of disappeared. So that is why I always blend with my eyes open, because you see where you place the shadow. And now we're gonna place this color right here on the lids, which is called Siren. So I'm taking another MAC 239 brush, and we're just gonna dab that onto the lid. I will not take it all the way to the inner corners, just because I think I will add a little bit of gold there. But this is a beautiful, beautiful color. And as you can see in the pans as well, you can't see any fallout. So now I will play with this gorgeous, gorgeous gold shade, which is called Hollywood. I will use a Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH42 brush, which is a very precise brush. And I'm gonna place this to my inner corners. I'm definitely excited to play with this palette more. So for our lower lash, I will go in with this color again. And I will add this color to my lower lash, and I will also connect the upper and lower eyeshadow as well. So next I will take this burgundy shade again. I will apply this with a Morphe X Jaclyn JH43 brush, which is a flat definer brush. And this shade we're gonna stamp on all the way up to our lower lash line. And we're gonna blend these shadows together. So last step when it comes to the eyes, I will take a brick house again. I will use a flat definer brush, which is a Morphe JH43 brush, and we're just gonna create like a little wing. So I have been loving to do this just because I love a good liner, but sometimes a black or brown liner is a little bit too much, a little bit harsh, and I just want the look to melt together. So I love to go in with the same shadow as I use on my lid. So I will go ahead and do my lashes off camera, and I will be right back. So I'm back, and the mascara that I applied today is the Maybelline New York The Falsies Lash Lift Mascara. I have really been into this mascara since I did my trying out full face of drugstore. Then I also added a little bit of the Revolution eyeliner in black in my lower waterline. The lashes that I'm using are the Ardell Double Up Wispies. I take one lash, I cut it in half, and I just apply them on my outer part. And I must say that I'm loving this eye look. I think the colors are beautiful. I think the shadows are beautiful. I think they're so creamy, so pigmented, so easy to work with. These are pretty much one of the best shadows I've ever tried. All creds to Scott Barn for creating this amazing palette. I'm so impressed. There's not any fallout in the pan. Pretty much all the eyeshadow palettes out there, you will get a little bit of fallout, especially with the shimmery shades. With this one, nothing. 10 out of 10. So now it is time to do our contour. I'm so excited to try this out as well. Hopefully this is just as good. So here you can see the outer packaging. It says Sculpting and Contour Scott Barnes. So as you can see, this has more of a copper rosé finish on the packaging, and this is more gold. I think the packaging is very sleek, very nicely created, just because it is very simple. There's not a lot going on, which I love. So this palette retails for $58, so it is a little bit expensive, but you actually get 8 different shades. You get different undertones here as well, so you have something for everybody in this palette, I feel like. So online it says, the Scott Barnes Sculpting and Contour Palette is truly a work of art. Many contour palettes prioritize luma, the brightness or darkness, whereas Scott's prioritizes the chroma, the color information, the misplaced priority on most contour palettes. It also says that this palette has extremely minimal fallout and kickback on the brush, which is the same as the eyeshadow palette. It also says that the Sculpting and Contour gives contour lovers a surgical tool they didn't realize they have been missing. Ooh, they are creamy. So here you can see 3 of the shades swatched. So we have Snatch, Chiseled, and Sculpt. And I think Sculpt would be just the perfect shade to carve out your contour, especially if you are like me and you love cooler tones. I will start with this shade Diced right here, which is one with a cooler undertone. Ooh, this is very cool tone and so pigmented. Hopefully it is easy to blend out. And I love a good cool tone shades for contouring. And they're also so easy to blend out. I feel like they go on like butter. Next up, I think I will take Sculpt and I will add that to my forehead. Okay, so these are very pigmented. You have to be very careful when you go in with these shadows. So I definitely think that color was a little bit more warm. So it looks very nice in my forehead. So next up, I will try Chiseled right here, which has more of a warmer tone. And I would just go on top of the contour to give my face a little bit of warmth. And this is also such a beautiful color. So I will take a little bit of Chisel into my forehead as well. Then we will take Frame right here and I will go in on my jawline. And then I also will use a frame down the sides of my nose. I will try out the hashtag shade. Hopefully this will work a little bit as a blush. I'm going to use a brush from Luxie, which is a 737 tapered highlighting brush. It has a little bit of that blush tone, so it kind of looks beautiful. And I love to apply my blush up in my temples as well. I'm also going to add a tiny amount in my forehead. Love, love, love this. So now we're going to play with the Scott Barnes Body Bling Original Moisturizing Shimmery Body Lotion. So this product retails for $42. So online it says that this is Hollywood's favorite alternative to self-tanner. The idea for a camera-ready rich shimmer lotion came when Scott on instinct threw leftover makeup into a blender while on a photo shoot. After perfecting the formula for mainstream, Scott took body makeup to his famous glow level of fame, and nobody is better at glowing skin like Scott Barnes. I love him. I definitely recommend you to check out his videos here on YouTube as well. It says that Body Bling instantly gives the skin a sun-kissed glow and shimmery radiance without the effort of a self-tanner. So let's go ahead and try this out. I love that it has a squeezing tube as well. It dries down very fast and it doesn't feel like you have anything on. So as you can see, you definitely get luminosity to the skin. It looks like my skin is a lot more even right here. It actually feels like it has gone into the skin like a moisturizer. Definitely a great product that I will have to play with a little bit more. And now I will go ahead and apply my lips and I will be right back to give you my final thoughts. So I have now done my lips and I am ready to give you my final thoughts. I was so impressed with all of these products. I would definitely say that all of these products are approved. When it comes to the eyeshadow palette, this retails for $84. It is a little bit up there, but I totally get why the pricing is as it is. This is probably one of the best eyeshadow palettes that I have played with ever. So for the price, you get 20 different shades in here. These are so creamy, so blendable, so smooth, and also pigmented. And I will definitely check out more of his palettes and save up and get them just because of the quality. I think you get a lot for the money. And as stated on the website, it says that this palette is supposed to give you minimal fallout. And I totally agree. You can barely see that I have tapped into these shadows with a brush. It just looks like you have touched it with your finger. That is how smooth these shadows are. I would say that this is a 12 out of 10 when it comes to the performance of the shadow, when it comes to the pigment, the blendability, and also the formula. I really enjoy this palette. I think it's worth every penny. So if you want to save up, definitely save up for this palette. It is one of the best palettes I've ever tried, and I have tried out a lot of eyeshadow palettes. I play with them on a daily. That is my work as well. So definitely a palette that really impressed me, and I can't wait to play more with this palette. And when it comes to the Sculpting and Contour Palette, this is also a 10 out of 10 in my book. So I really loved how these shadows performed. I love the formula of this. These have the same formula as the eyeshadow, I would say. They are so blendable. As you saw, they are also pigmented, so a little goes a long way. So for $58, you actually get a lot of product just because you get 8 different contour and sculpting shades that are perfect. As you saw, I used a bunch of different colors to sculpt out, to bronze up, to shape, and I feel like it gives dimension back into the face. I feel like a lot of contour palettes that I have tried out, they can be a little bit powdery. They don't go on as smooth as this palette. This is a palette that I would totally repurchase when I run out of this. I love that you get different undertones. In a regular contour palette, you usually get 3 or 2 contour shades, and then you also get a lighter highlighting shades that pretty much is useless, especially for me, because if I set my eyes with a light highlighting shade, especially those in the Anastasia one, I feel like they look so dry. I would rather invest in 8 different sculpting and contour shades, because this you can use multiple ways. I definitely feel like this palette is great and something that was missing on the market, just because in a regular contour palette you get like 4 shades pretty much, or 6 shades. Some of them can be too orange, some of them can be too cool tone, and you don't get a huge variety like with this palette. So I really enjoyed it. Definitely one that is approved by me as well. And when it comes to the body bling, this retailed for $42. As I said, you get 4 fluid ounce in this one, and I really love how it applied. As you can see, it has been a couple of minutes right now. You can see that it has dried down. If you are wearing a dress and you just want to tan up a little bit of that body, I feel like this is a great instant self tanner. It will keep you moisturized, it will even out your skin tone, and also leave your skin a little bit luminous. So all in all, I'm so impressed with all the products I tried out. All the credits go to Scott Barnes for being an amazing makeup artist. I'm definitely going to pick up more of his products just because of how these applied, how they work. So I really love the formula in these palettes. I haven't tried out anything like this before. So impressed. Definitely get your hands on these if you can afford them. They are so worth it. So definitely let me know down below if you have tried any of these products. If you are going to pick them up, I would love to know. So before you go, be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and you want to see more reviews from me. And also, if you're new and you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe, ring the bell, and also be sure to put on your post notifications so you will not miss anything in the future. And without further ado, I love you guys and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys. Mwah.